All right, everyone, so you are on your last essay assignment, so I'm gonna walk you guys through it. So for the postmodern essay, we've done a lot of work with a lot of different postmodern issues, including identity, post-war trauma after World War II, a modern capitalism and modern consumer culture, outsider identity, a lot of different thematic issues we've looked at. So the prompt for this one is very simple. You're going to choose one text from one of the authors that you read in this unit, and you write an argumentative essay over how that work portrays a theme, a major thematic issue related to postmodernism. So you can choose one theme if you like, or you can broaden it to a couple of themes. I wouldn't go over maybe two, maybe just a couple. Remember to keep your argument as narrow and focused as possible. So I've given you just a few ideas. There's many, many more you could think of, but you could think of identity, multiculturalism, post-war trauma, as I said, modern consumer culture, capitalism, outsider identity. You could do modern gender, social class, race divide. Any of these would work. Choose an issue that you feel is relevant, perhaps, or that you feel is something that is of interest to you, and then choose the work that I think fits with that. Remember, most importantly, keep the focus on the text. That is the most important thing. So analyze that text with detail and with lots of good, solid evidence and analysis of the text itself. Don't wander off into talking about, current politics or anything like that. Keep the focus on the text. That being said, there are a lot of these cultural issues that are relevant when you think about these texts. So as you've done in the first two essays, you are going to want to also tie in the author's biography and some of the historical context around that work. So hopefully you are able to keep the primary focus on the text, but tie in those elements as well, just like you've been doing in the last two essays. Now, the thing that makes this one very different from the last two is that you have three options. So you get to choose the format that you best like. You can do the usual 3 to 4 page essay with bibliography as usual. Turn that in just as you always do. You can also do a 10-minute video lecture, just like I do when I have the lectures online. You get to be the professor and you get to do a video lecture about the text. So if you're a comfortable speaker or you feel like you are a good performer, this might be the choice for you. What you're going to do is, I'll walk you through this in a second, but you're going to make a link. You'll have to upload it to YouTube, and when you make that link, that's what you'll submit to me. And you'll have to make sure the link is working so that I can see the video. You can also do a 12 to 15 slide PowerPoint or Prezi with the bibliography. So if you do a YouTube video, you still turn in a Word document with the bibliography. If you do the PowerPoint or Prezi, you'll still have a bibliography on there as well. Safe Assign works just the same for PowerPoint and Prezi as it does for a paper, so make sure that you are not relying on other people's words without crediting them. Whatever you do, you'll also need to make sure you have a section somewhere in there that really broadens or talks about how this work fits into sort of the bigger history of literature that you've been studying since the start of the course. So really, how does it work like, for example, something by Sylvia Plath work in relation to female authors before her, or authors who have talked about mental illness, or authors who are marginalized or outsiders, or really any of these things? How does someone like Sherman Alexie, as a poet, fit in with earlier poets? How does he fit in as a Native American author? How does he fit in as a male minority author? There's a lot of different ways that you can go about it, but I want to make sure that you're sort of contextualizing everything we've studied in the course. So it just needs to be a short section. If you do an essay, maybe that's a paragraph. If you do a video lecture, maybe 1 or 2 minutes on that. And if you do a PowerPoint or Prezi, maybe 1 or 2 slides is all you need. So it doesn't need to be long. It just needs to show me that you really understand how these authors have come from the authors that have been before them. So the ideas and the authors that have been before them. You need one scholarly source for this one, so something from the database, and one other source of your choosing. So make sure that's a credible source, as you always do, and then make sure to cite them on the bibliographies. Your essay is going to be due on Sunday, May 7th at midnight, and it's going to be 3 to 4 pages in, or well, it doesn't need to be 3 to 4 if you do the essay itself. Otherwise, you fit in with the correct link listed up here. Again, everything is checked through Safe Assign. So your authors for this one are any of these authors, and yes, it must be a work that we read in this class. If you choose something like a Sherman Alexie with poetry, you can do one poem, you can do a couple of different poems, it's your choice. Also make sure that you're giving me lots of good evidence. Make sure that you're using good quotes from the primary and the secondary sources, so from the text and from the other sources. Even if you are doing a video lecture, make sure that you are pulling in quotes and citing other sources and citing authors and citing specific lines from the text, just like I do on my video lectures. So as far as turning these in, whichever essay or whichever choice you choose to do, make sure that it is submitted and submitted correctly. So if you choose to do an essay, you know how to make sure that you can see it. If you do a video lecture, again, you have to upload it to YouTube, take that link, and then where you normally submit the essay, you will just submit the link for me. Here's the thing though, you have to make sure that the link is working. So after you submit, just like you make sure the essay shows up, make sure that that link works from your submission. Because if I can't see anything, then I have nothing to grade, and it's the end of the semester, and there's no extra time to try and get a hold of you and make sure, try and figure something out. So make sure the link works. And also don't forget the bib. If you do the PowerPoint and Prezi, same thing. If you choose a Prezi, you're going to have to do the same thing with the link to the Prezi. You'll have to double check that it's working so that I have something to grade. So make sure you absolutely do that. Do not wait until the last minute on Sunday night to do this submission, because there is no extra time. So grades will be due the following week. If you do the PowerPoint, same thing. Double check that it's there, that I can see it, that it's not broken or anything like that. What I'm looking for in this is, again, a fully developed argumentative thesis statement with a good intro, close analysis of the work and the major ideas, lots of good evidence from your sources, whether that's the primary text or the secondary sources. Of course, all the usual proper page length or number of slides or length of video, MLA formatting, etc., citations. No matter which format you choose, it still needs to have a fully developed essay structure. So what you got to have an intro, you got to have major ideas, you got to have lots of evidence, and you got to have conclusion. And then a clear organization of all your ideas. If you do the video, make sure you prepare something a little bit before you start talking on it. Just doing these a lot, it does get easy to kind of go off tangent sometimes when you're doing a video of yourself. So prepare some notes. Make sure you stay on topic, and I promise you those 10 minutes will go by a lot faster than you think they will. If you have any questions about this, please let me know. Otherwise, I really want you guys to have some fun with it. The reason I have 3 choices is for you to kind of experiment and play with whatever fits your style best. If you feel like a traditional essay is best for you, do it. If you like to perform, if you like to talk in a video, you think it'd be great. If you're kind of technologically savvy, maybe that works for you. If you choose a PowerPoint or Prezi, that's fine too. Let me say one more thing about this. Even though the slides it's a different format than an essay, I do still expect to have lots of good content in there. So not just a couple of bullets on every slide for 15 slides. That's not really going to cut it. You need to back up your ideas. You need to write a good amount on these slides. It's just a different format than an essay. Okay, like I said, if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, have some fun with it, and best of luck.